Let's start in Soweto, and residents there have gathered for a prayer to remember the victims killed at a tavern in Nomzamo. 16 people gunned down, gunmen opening fire inside the tavern last weekend and then fleeing. They didn't rob anybody. It was a shooting designed to kill only. Police Minister Becky Pule says they are looking for 5 suspects, but as yet no arrests. Meanwhile, Meadowlands, also in Soweto, is calling for more visible policing in their area as well. So let's speak to our 2 reporters who are in Soweto this evening, Heidi, Giokos and Pule Letshwiti-Jones. And Heidi, I'm going to start with you. When we last spoke, the community were gathering, discussing some of the issues that they'd like addressed. Tell us more.
Yes, indeed, Sally. So the community has since met. They are here in Meadowlands at a park just around the corner from the police station. And having heard from Nhlanhla Lux earlier, the concerns, of course, remain the same. They want more police visibility. They want police intervention. There is an area that used to be a cinema, and now apparently that has been taken over. What they claim to be illegal foreign nationals in the area. They believe that a lot of the crime that happens in that area, or people that are from that area, and they want police to possibly infiltrate the area and you know, just intervene and protect the community. This is something that we've been hearing time and time again from community members in the area after what happened in Nomzamo. I'm going to ask my colleague Heidi to just show you the community is still meeting. We have seen community leaders addressing community members about these very issues and their plan moving forward. I think the top of the issue here is the fact that they just want to make Soweto a better place. They want it to be safe for their children, their family members, their loved ones, as this remains a very big problem. There's a lot of crime in the area, and I think, Sally, because of what happened in Nomzamo, it's just exacerbated and further highlighted the dire need of the community members to have police visibility. I had asked Nhlanhla Lux earlier about the fact that community members are saying it's basically too late to have this police presence and have all these forces out, be it the Amaberete, the JMPD, Western Cape Police even coming in. But the point that's being made is that the community has been crying out for this, so they need to appreciate it and accept it. However, is this going to be sustainable? Is this something that the police are going to be able to sustain and maintain even after all this Nomzamo investigation is concluded, or whatever the case might be? This always happens, Sally. There's always hysteria and there's always promises made and police deployed, but the issues always remain, and community members, the most vulnerable in our society, are subjected to very harsh living conditions and are subjected to crime on a daily basis. I think load shedding just hit, so it's become very dark here, Sally, but basically you understand the gist of it. And I've just lost my connection to you. I think it's the network as well.
Yes, I'm sure it is, Heidi. I won't ask you any follow-up questions, but Heidi, making the point that load shedding has just hit, and we know that when communities go dark, of course, it's carte blanche really for thieves and criminals, because it is so much easier to access property. So it is a real concern what is happening regarding our load shedding. Some welcome news that we are on stage 3 at the moment, and let's hope it continues that way. Let's bring now Pule Letshwiti-Jones in. Pule, you've been in the Nomzamo area where the massacre happened. There's a prayer meeting there tonight, am I right?
Yeah, definitely the prayer service has started and got underway. Just before I continue, I must say also we are in a very dark place. I think that's due to load shedding. But I managed to get some lighting equipment here so we can speak to the bishop and of course a prophet here as well. Just behind me are songs of worship and praise. I'm just going to try and see if my colleague Omesh can zoom in and show you, perhaps maybe if you can just see on the far end as community members are joined by some of the congregants as well, who are here to actually, send their last messages and kind of restore hope in this broken society due to the tragic incident that had taken place just a weekend ago. But maybe let me just you can join me in here. I'm going to speak to Bishop Shongwe from River of Mercy Ministries. Bishop, thank you very much for joining us on eNCA this evening. Now, maybe if we can start to as a church, what is your role in this community in ensuring that you can restore hope, particularly after what they've mentioned as to crime being rife in this area and sort of crime being the nature of the day, having taken over in this community?
Thank you very much. We are here as the church to comfort those that they have lost their loved ones. And it is the role of the church to ensure that we pray to God the Almighty to ensure that safety in our community is restored. And we hope and believe that within no time, peace and security shall prevail in our townships throughout the country of South Africa. Thank you.
Before we just go, Bishop, I'm also going to be joined by Prophet Pasekamboro. Maybe if you can just speak to us as well. You're joining the Bishop here in the church as well. You also spoke to the families earlier on. What are some of the messages that you heard from the families, and what did you tell them in terms of comforting words during this tragic moment, the ones that have lost their loved ones, of course?
The family is, they are hopeless, they are traumatized, they are afraid. I just came to give them hope. You know, the crime that is happening in our society, in this area and all over, you know, in KZN, Katlehong, Tshwane, Soweto, it seems to be this thing, you know, is co-orchestrated. But it's our role, all the members of our communities. We understand hope is gone. People are drinking, and yeah, it's time for people to reclaim their lives. I spoke to the families that they shouldn't give up. They should reclaim their lives and really connect with God and fight back spiritually. Because if it shows that people have lost themselves, we need to get everybody back to themselves, and you can do that by the help of God.
Maybe just 30 seconds each, and I'll ask the Bishop again. As the church community, what are some of the programs would you be looking into, maybe in terms of speaking with government, in terms of fighting crime? We've seen how there's been a lot of guns at the helms of criminals. They're becoming much more powerful in most of these societies, terrorizing these communities. Are there some sort of programs that you have in place to ensure you can speak probably to the police ministry and ensure that you protect some of these communities as well through your work?
Yes. Today in the morning in Fostoras Civic Center, there was a meeting whereby the community of Katlehong, Fostoras, they came together to strategize as a community to say what is it that we can do to ensure that South Africa becomes a gun-free society. And the government should also make sure that they reinforce the issues of licenses to those that are carrying guns, because there are so many guns in our country and such that the government cannot control those guns. Now we hope that after this we are going to make some prayers, attend workshops with the Civic Association, attend workshops with the MEC to ensure that at least we try and bring about order in our country. There is a problem of guns, and enough is enough, and this must come to an end as from now.
Maybe just 30 seconds before you go as well, do you share the same sentiments?
Yeah, what I'm saying is that guns are in the hands of the criminals. Licensed firearms are not a problem, because people who are trained how to use things, they know where to use them. You know, the patrollers, we need to bring back the street committees. We see patrollers all over. The government and the police should work with the communities. Those who are doing, they should be funding that will support these programs of all the people who are fighting crime, and also jobs. Unemployment is killing our country.
Thank you very much. That's Prophet Pasekamporo and, of course, Bishop T.M. Shongwe joining us this evening at eNCA. Just heard, Sally, they're also calling for a fight against crime in most of this community, joining hands as well and trying to see what programs can be established to address the issues of guns and, of course, to address the issues of crime being rife in most of these communities and criminals being at the helm of terrorizing most of these communities.
Absolutely, and a very sad and somber moment there in Nomzamo. Thank you so much. That's our reporter Pule Letshwiti-Jones in Soweto.